I've got all I need to start talking about this subject. What about you?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll feed into whatever you got.
So we were just looking at this clip that's about AI actresses are replacing human actresses in pornography, right? And I have no doubt that that's true. But we often talk about this from the angle of everybody being worried about AI replacing us, right? And the concerns of like, now that people are building sex robots and that robotics is coming along in an advanced enough way where it can almost feel lifelike. And I honestly don't doubt that our technicians, our engineers, our scientists, because of our Imagineers, right, our fictioneers, they've already given us our mark, right?
Yeah.
It's human-like or nothing. You know, you're still a fake, right? So I think that we will develop the technology to where you can have a lifelike experience with a non-human, non-biological robot like AI. I don't want to say powered. AI inhabited robot. I have no doubt, but I also have no doubt you're never going to get rid of the real thing. You're never going to end the market for it. First and foremost, it's fucking programmed in the lizard brain. It's fucking programmed. Yeah, I mean, and we're nowhere near evolving that out. You know, because we are now artificially evolving through technology. So much of our but we forget how physically slow actual biological evolution is. And don't get me wrong, people. Well, you know, Jeff, you're also always advocating for, you know, the future of, you know, genetic manipulation and what we might be able to, you know, fix gene wise. You know, with all these different various practices that they're coming along with. And I agree. That's where I just think we will come to exist in a lot of different forms. Don't get me wrong, but because of that, people need to stop worrying that humans will ever stop existing. Yeah, I mean, like this creature, I think, is here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because we have developed the technology that I think we could probably preserve ourselves at this point. You know, like we're good at preservation at this point, to where I'm not worried about being replaced. In this overall fear way that so many people bring up.
Yeah.
And so along this lines of mattress actresses being replaced, augmented, added to, like sure, there will be fake influencers and fake mattress actresses that get famous and that come along, and there will be tons of them and whatnot, but you're still never going to get rid of the real thing. And the proof exists in the current state of porn as it is, because as it began talking about, you know, the world of pornography was, you know, massively changed by VHS, then DVD, then the internet, you know, and it went on, and it was doing its little thing, to where then bring up how we're scared about AI, you know, taking over. Like, it won't take over, because in the various mediums that porn has shifted to coming in, that's a terribly weird choice of words there, sorry. Let me start over, okay? When the porn started coming in the form of VHS, I remember that day. I remember those days. I was a teenage boy during the era when porn started coming out on VHS, right? Gone were the days where you had to hope that one of your friends could find their older brother or their dad's stash of actual pornographic magazines, right? The paper medium of porn magazines. Which, by the way, were a huge step up from the JCPenney's catalog, right? But now, you had this VHS, right? Something that your buddy could, you know, hand to you, and like you could take it home, and everybody's asleep, sneak out and put it right. Oh, right? Or again, you know, people aren't home, you use the VHS, you take it, right? And it was great because now it's moving medium, right? Now it's not just a static photo of like, oh, I can imagine what might be happening here in this scenario, or you know, once you start actually cranking it yourself, you know, oh, I can imagine that this is what's happening. No, now you can trade and transmit the visual, the mobile, you know, and it was groundbreaking. In this world where we're talking about where you have to get your own information about sex, right? And cool. So where do we get our information? So we get it from porn, right? Right? Why not have porn be our instructors, right? But that's how it ends up happening, right? I didn't design the system, but this is how it fucking happens. I'm sorry, this is the reality of how it happens. But so as pornography has advanced and become the instructor / member of society that we want it to be / need it to be, and hopefully we will get more above board and in the open with our porn as we go forward in the future. Because the thing I'm trying to illustrate is that as they advance and you have things like the studio production, like you've got Brazzers, you've got Pornhub, you've got these large institutions and these massive companies that develop porn and whatnot. There's no shortage of amateur porn out there. In fact, one could easily argue that amateur porn is so big right now, it threatens, the big companies, the studio companies have to constantly be on their toes and figuring out how do they capitalize in this world of where the more we figure out how to democratize pornography, the more those large corporations have to try and figure out how to stay relevant. So I find it interesting that people are always worried that something can happen. Like they think our species is so fragile.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
anything can break it, but we've proven over and over we are survivors. We are going to like you often say the only thing that's going to kill us is if the Earth splits in half, and the core is like
she's talking about
if the Earth actually is obliterated, and we are still only on the Earth.
That's the
only way that the human species will actually end, because otherwise
we'll figure it out. We'll get past
always be some who
even if there's a small body of us, we will recoup, right? This species has proven itself as a survivor. There's just no fucking question about it. And so I don't understand people's jump to fragility.
Right. Every new technology that comes out, everything.
This is going to threaten our existence.
Right.
Calm down, Chicken Little.
Oh my gosh,
Calm
the TV.
down.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yes.
The internet.
Oh my gosh, right?
Social media.
Oh, what was me? Yeah.
No, everything, nothing has proven
and,
to kill us.
And I'll even take it so far as to this will change it outside the realm of sex talk here for a second, but I'll even take it to the realm of, people will even bring up the fear that, like, oh, well, what if someone creates some sort of virus that changes the human species and whatnot. It's not going to get us all, and they've made plenty of movies that can easily illustrate just as many happy endings as there are doom endings for those scenarios. The Planet of the Apes trilogy, or I guess it's more than a trilogy now, but the series or franchise is one good example of what I'm talking about. Do your best. Right? Genomic scientists or eugenist breeders, white supremacists, black supremacists, whatever. All of you people who think you can guide the human race and you alone or you as a nation, you're fucking wrong. Right? And history has done nothing but prove you wrong in that instance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you think. This species is a fucking survivor. Right? And we know how we survive. And we survive through fucking, period. We're good at it. We're amazing at it. I shit you not. It is what drives us forward as a species, in no small degree. And we will show that as we get more and more people involved in our conversation and start talking it through. Because it's fucking ridiculous, people, that you think you need to be scared of AI actresses, AI mattress actresses. What? They're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be hot. They're going to be awesome. I look at this as like, think about those sci-fi movies that show people's futures where we're all in our throngs of tens of thousands watching robots in combat, right? Or watching humans control robots through VR suits, or watching cyborgs, half humans, half robots, right? That's all this is. It's just adding to the tapestry of amazing shit that humans get to enjoy. That's all this is, right? Stop being fucking afraid that this is going to somehow, it's going to stop humans from breeding. You're never going to stop humans from breeding. It's not fucking possible. A third of the programming in the root lizard brain of this fucking species, a third of the programming, hear me again, is entirely dedicated to the myriad of crazy, kinky, nasty fucking ways that we can put dicks into holes and spread semen from place to place, billions at a time. She's going to have a fucking mating cycle minimum once a month. I'm going to have a fucking mating cycle minimum once every 7 seconds. It's fucking ridiculous how well this creature is programmed to get nasty and accidentally breed. Look at how we have to go through such exorbitant efforts to try and make sure that we breed as little as possible, because we do not do anything like we breed. We are that fucking good at that. We are accidentally masters at fucking breeding. So people, don't worry about what could AI actresses possibly do other than maybe get a few more people horny and ginned up, and then they're going to go and accidentally have a fucking baby, or they're going to get kinky at the very least and have sex. So the human race is not going to be taken out by artificial mattress actresses. I think that deserves a different take. Humans are not going to be taken out by artificial mattress actresses, okay? It's just not going to happen.